we head over here to our Seattle Seawolves, who you could say it was a mixed week, but considering the larger picture overall and the possible outcomes of this week, it's not too bad. So over the course of the past week, which was yesterday, the Seawolves hosted the Eastern Conference leading New England Free Jacks on June 11th. That was a 26-34 loss. Our player of the match, Pete Malcolm. Malcolm, 2 tries scored and 10 points scored as a total. Both of those tries late as the Seawolves tried to rally back. Seattle in this one was just, there were too many mistakes for the Seawolves in this one against a New England team that's very good. I mean, they're atop the Eastern Conference, well atop the Eastern Conference, and second in all of MLR in terms of points after this week. So to lose to New England's not necessarily a bad thing or something to be frowned upon, something to be disappointed with, but it's more so the way that it happened. You know, a lot of mistakes in the first half. Seattle was in a hole early. 17-7 deficit at half. That grew as the second half began. Seattle was able to thunder back, but ultimately ran out of time. New England added a try late, and it just pushed them too far out of reach. So unfortunate, of course. But before this match even began, as you can see on the banner below me, Seattle had locked up the number 2 seed in the West. It would have taken a San Diego Legion collapse for the Seawolves to have a chance at the top seed in the West. That wasn't going to happen because at the halfway point of their match against the Toronto Arrows, who we know, as I talked about in weeks prior, are not very good. San Diego was losing. San Diego was losing 17-7, but would go on to score 43 unanswered points in the second half to decimate Toronto and lock up the top seed. So the Western Conference picture is figured out. San Diego is first. They get a week off. They will play the winner of Seattle versus Houston. So the Seawolves will host the Houston SaberCats here at Starfire Stadium in Tukwila. When we get the time and date for that, we'll make sure to push that out. So playoffs are figured out. The only thing now that really you're trying to look for is building momentum going into the next week, going into the playoffs. And it's not an easy match to do it. So not easy team to do it against. So the Seawolves sit at a 12-win and 3-loss record with 59 standing points, which is good for third in the league as a whole, second in the Western Conference behind San Diego, who the Seawolves will play this upcoming week on the road, June 18th at the Legion, a 4 p.m. Pacific time kick. That's a big battle, but both teams have essentially have actually locked up their spot in the playoffs. So it's not like they've got a lot to play for. So it'll be interesting to see how much either team really keeps their starters in or at all. You know, it would be very interesting to see the lineups for this game when that comes around.